Many years ago my daughter has been fussy all day long. My wife was ready to pull her own hair out, therefore, I took my daughter with me to the store. She was very young and pretty, with the cutest little purple wheelchair secondary to spina bifida. We get to the store, unload her wheelchair from the Chevy Suburban. She climbs down into said chair, and off we go. After shopping is done, we're back at the Suburban reversing the process to load her up and stow the chair. As I'm loading said chair, dude pulls up next to me in a new Corvette still with paper tags on it. Convertible containing dude and his trophy, significant other. I casually mention that he's pulled into a row of handicap space without a handicap tag or placard. He says, "Yeah, I know," and saunters off to shop with his significant other. Well, I'm a little pissed at this moment, but don't want to do damage to such a beautiful car. Then, an evil thought enters my brain. I go to the cart storage, just in front of where we're parked. I put carts in a loose formation around his car. Security guard comes out, but just watches. An off-duty city cop also comes out and also just watches. I proceed to put several layers of carts, tightly packed together, 360 degrees around his car. I approach the guard and city cop, and explain that dude was using handicap space for convenience, not due to an accessibility problem. I point out that no carts are touching his car, so no damage, but that he sure as hell has an accessibility problem now. They both crack up laughing at this point. The cop says that he hopes the guy complains, because he'll write a ticket to the dude. I laughed quite a bit over this, and quite frankly, still do every now and then. Estimated time of arrival. To answer a common question as to why the cop wouldn't just write a ticket straight away, he couldn't. In Texas, at the time, on private property they couldn't write one unless the property owner/manager called, or the person otherwise engaged with the officer. He was hoping the guy came to complain so the cop could then engage with dude, then write a ticket. Estimated time of arrival 2. This may have been a city ordinance or policy, as several former/current Texas cops have said this was not a state law. Comment by user. Nice. I worked at a skilled nursing facility and our maintenance guy would park his very nice Mercedes in the handicap spot every day. Actually only 2/3 in the spot, 1/3 blocking the walkway. No handicap placard or plates. Just a prick that didn't want his nice car to get damaged. I finally got fed up and reported him to the handicap parking violation department of my city's law enforcement. I anonymously reported him every day for a week with pictures. My coworkers were delighted when he got a ticket and he never parked there again. Reply by original poster. Excellent. Comment by user. The best part of this is the actual inconvenience. Just getting a ticket will remind the jerk that some crimes are legal for people with money. Reply by original poster. I didn't think of that then, but how right you are. Comment by user. Ha ha ha. My uncle was paralyzed from the waist down, rest in peace, he's no longer with us, but he was amazing, and used hand controls to doctorive. When he caught people parking in handicap spaces, he would park behind them, blocking them in, only if it didn't impede fuckfic. When the entitled parker would return and start throwing a fit, my uncle would be all, "What are you gonna do about it? Call the cops." And then very slowly get out and go about his business doing whatever he was doing at that location, grocery shopping usually. I feel like you would have been buddies. Reply by original poster. I'd hope so. Comment by user. Shamed a man who parked in the adjacent spot of a handicap spot. You know, the one that is left with blue diagonal lines so people can load and unload a wheelchair. Yeah. He tried that whole, "I'll only be a minute." As fucked I politely yet directly told him he couldn't park there, and started to walk away. "Hey asshole, you still can't park there." He was actively blocking the next car from unloading a wheelchair. He eventually moved, and proceeded to come find me inside the grocery store and attempt to condescend to me about how I shouldn't swear because he didn't want me to get in trouble. Motherfucker, it is not illegal to swear. It is illegal to park in a handicap spot without proper documents. Worry about yourself. Then he wanted me to move out of his way. Bitch, you walked up to me, you had to search for me too. You can turn your happy ass around or go around me. Then I did that obnoxious bye from the video of people arguing at Disneyland from a million years ago. It was great. 10 out of 10 would shame again. Reply by original poster. I like that you shamed him into moving, but you gotta watch out for the crazies. I have accidentally scratched cars parked in those spaces with her chair, and once started opening a wheelchair lift onto someone's car when they didn't want to move. They moved. Had one guy threatened to call the police about the damage, and I just said, "You might want to think that through first." My action was accidental, but it only occurred because you are parked illegally. Choose wisely. He did. Choose wisely, I mean. Comment by user. A hero we don't deserve but need. Reply by original poster. Nah, just a mad dad, but thanks. Comment by user. This is why I carry zip ties in my car. If someone doesn't have a tag/placket, I will zip tie a shopping cart to the car door handle. The cops here don't care or do anything. Reply by original poster. Ooh, I like it. Comment by user. My husband and I did that one time. Watched a woman fly through parking lot, almost hitting a pedestrian, and proceeded to park her precious sports car across 3 spaces. It was fun and thoroughly enjoyed watching her huff around moving all the carts so she could leave. Reply by original poster. Love this. Comment by user. I recently encountered a pair of motorcycles in the accessible spot and wish I had had this kind of brilliance close at hand. Reply by original poster. It was inspired, I do believe. Comment by user. Stupidity is not a disability smiling face. My favorite sign in front of a disability parking spot in South Africa, haha. Reply by original poster. Love it. Comment by user. I've seen 2 signs. If you want my space, take my disability too. This place is reserved for people with disabilities, or for idiots with no scruples. Reply by original poster. Love it. Comment by user. I have a friend who has a disabled child. One day she went to pick him up and she had the disabled placard on the window. This woman came up to her, looking like she was going to yell at her for using the convenient space. My dear friend was at her wit's end that day, and in no space to tell a stranger her whole story, so she just climbed out and started walking while doctoraging her leg, just to avoid the conversation. She said the woman looked super embarrassed. Luckily, the angry woman wasn't there when my friend got back with her kid. Reply by original poster. Yup. Done it when on the way in to pick up my daughter. Comment by user. My son is in a chair. I literally shame people into moving. Reply by original poster. When someone says that they'll only be a minute, so I'll sometimes just park behind them if there are no more spaces, because I'll only be a minute. How many times have I heard that excuse? Comment by user. We have parent and toddler spaces in UK which give extra room like disabled spaces do. These spaces get abused often. When my kids were toddlers and we enjoyed the benefit of these spaces, when there was one free, I always enjoyed shouting in panic at the abuser of the space, "You've left your kid in the shop," as they would doctor about the space childless. For some reason they always looked horrified, like they had actually left a kid behind, woman shrugging. Maybe there are loads of abandoned toddlers in shops still waiting to be collected. Reply by original poster. Well, that explains a lot. LOL. Comment by user. I've been blessed with not needing accessibility like that, but my husband had a foot surgery, so they gave us one since he could still doctor, but walking long distances was not happening. That's when we really noticed how many people use those spaces and have no indication they need that kind of space. Made me really think about how hard navigating life is for people who already have need of accessibility. Reply by original poster. It's a problem I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, but I wouldn't trade my daughter for the world. Comment by user. I work/run a truck stop. We have these new handicap spots with signs and everything. Had these big Texans park in a handicap spot. With the weather and snow, it would have taken 30-440 minutes for offices to arrive, so I dealt with it. I got our snow plow out and started plowing the piles of snow over and blocked their big trucks in. When they came to complain, I simply said, "I apologize for this inconvenience, but you don't have a handicap placard or anything on your vehicle. The only thing we can do is to bring the deputies out and then have them deal with it." So they did. They called and deputies arrived about 30 minutes later and gave a ticket. Then instead of having me move the snow, they called a city plow to come move it. Another hour passed and the plow arrived. I hope the jackasses learned their lesson. Edit. Reply by original poster. Excellent. Comment by user. I'm diabetic, but not considered handicapped. Still, some days I hurt. A lot. I would still never take a handicap space. To me, others need it, but I'll be okay. Every time I hear about someone doing this, it's an able-bodied asshole. Reply by original poster. You should consider talking with your physician or PA/NP about getting one. Really. That what they're for, people with accessibility problems. Comment by user. I'm your daughter in the future. In my 20s. I've got the bright pink and purple wheelchair and everything. I cannot stand when people park in handicap spaces illegally. Typically, my husband and I have learned that people usually don't care, and we've often thought that local law enforcement probably doesn't care either, in that they have bigger issues to deal with. Until recently. About a week or so ago, there was one of those giant Chevy Suburban SUVs parked in the access aisle in front of a Starbucks. First off, parking in the access aisle is illegal for anyone. But with no placard or handicap plate either. Double the frustration. We reported the violation via an app that our state has. We then shrugged our shoulders and off we went, thinking nothing would be done about it. Just the other day, our local law enforcement shared on their social media page that they recently conducted a handicap violation campaign, where they spent an entire weekend just writing tickets/citations for cars that were using handicap spaces on an unauthorized basis. It was a moment of hope and positivity. Showed us that they do care, and at least within our county, that they're making a difference for those of us with disabilities. Reply by original poster. I love your story. For clarification, my daughter's 32, almost 33. Comment by user. May that D-bag forever get stuck with shopping carts with sticky wheels. Reply by original poster. Yes. Comment by user. I'm handicapped and I have van with automatic lift. So I push a button and my doors open and my lift comes down and is ready for me before I get to the van. One day, unbeknownst to me, a car parked in the line area and I hit the deploy the ramp and the ramp came down and scraped this car rear door and broke the back window. I didn't realize the power that lift had and the damage it can cause, so my wife got in and backed the van up. I got in and Doc drove away. I hope that guy learned his lesson not to park in the line area that's there for ramp access or he's going to have a lot of damaged cars. Reply by original poster. Never had to actually use the lift that way, but did start to do so. The threat was good enough and they moved. We had a hand control van with lift while try to teach her to doc drive. She just never wanted to. Comment by user. Oh, I hope he complained to the cop. Reply by original poster. Me too, but I'll never know. This was about 28 years ago. Comment by user. There is the parking mobility app that helps you export these people when you see them. Reply by original poster. What's the name of the app? Comment by user. To further answer the common question, how long ago was this? I was a Texas police officer starting about 25 years ago. No handicap placard or plate and I could have slapped that ticket on the car in a heartbeat. Private property makes no difference if it's an area open to the public and the spaces are properly marked. Reply by original poster. Maybe Fort Worth ordinance? Comment by user. Perfect. Well done. Reply by original poster. Thanks. Comment by user. https://red.it/mgkt5155qhma1 png question mark width =1080 format $pjpg auto webp s =880ef4 856 FDD 60 DDBB 31 CD77 1 1602 887E for a 201. But pink is cuter. Reply by original poster. She's had pink, purple, bright green, and now a subdued purple. Comment by user. I was helping my wife at our son's primary school as fucked her hours. We needed to unload a bunch of material and she parked in the handicap space. I balked, but she said that the spot is used by only one person at the school. They weren't showing up for an hour. They'd planned it earlier, and I would only be a few moments. Moments as fucked her she went inside, I was confronted by the mom who used the spot. She angrily and kindly explained to me why that space was important to her. I apologized, told her she'd never see me park in a handicap space again, and moved the car. When I went inside, she and my wife were laughing because she told my wife about how some asshole parked in her spot and my wife didn't throw me under the bus. Reply by original poster. LOL. Yup, never park in one means never. Comment by user. My father has a handicap parking permit for back injuries, but when he walks like normal, people assume he's an idiot and doesn't understand what the park is for. It's tough because why should he have to explain his invisible disability just because someone else thinks they know better every single time he goes to the shops? I hope he didn't have a disability that you all weren't aware of. Reply by original poster. No, just an arrogant fool. Comment by user. So the security guard, as an agent of the property owner, couldn't request the cop to ticket the privileged person. Reply by original poster. Probably didn't have the authority. The cop was working as additional security. Comment by user. One of the responsibilities of my job is to enforce parking regulations. I take great joy in having illegally parked vehicles towed at the owner's expense. We have 3 simple rules when it comes to parking. 1. Do not park in handicap spots without proper signage or plates. Do not park in striped unloading zones. Do not take up multiple spaces or park in an unsafe fuck manner. We outline this to every person who stays at our property. We have an overflow lot, but the amount of people who park illegally to be closer to the doors is staggering. Then they act all shocked when they wake up to their vehicle towed and a notice saying why it was towed. Reply by original poster. Thank you for what you do. Comment by user. I've never noticed how shitty people are with these spots until my wife got a handicap permit. My kid's school has parking spots where parents park and drop their kids off. You're not even supposed to use them for that, as they're for the on-site daycare, but parents use them anyway. There's one handicap spot and there's a massive bitch and some douche that always park there. My wife cannot walk far, especially in warmer months, and it's incredibly frustrating when she can't park in a designated spot because some douche canoe doesn't want to walk an extra 200 meters from the further parking. Reply by original poster. Block them in a few times. They'll get the idea. Comment by user. My dad works the handicap parking gate at high school football games. The number of people without placards that try to get in there so they can be closer is ridiculous. Then there's the guy on his motorcycle with his placard on a lanyard around his neck, so they have to let him in. Reply by original poster. I've never heard of the motorcycle gig, well, except the guy at Fort Sam Houston, Texas, who had a tricycle with 3-sided box with ramp at rear. He'd roll onto it, pull ramp up and doctor away. This was late 80s/early 90s. Comment by user. I was standing in line at the grocery store one day when I hear the lady in front of me complaining to the cashier about the motorcycle parked in the handicap spot. She kept going on and on about how rude it was, and the person should get a ticket. I asked her if she saw a handicapped sticker or plate. She claimed they don't make handicapped plates for motorcycles. The cashier was trying to hold back a smile. I asked her if she was sure about the lack of handicap plates for bikes, and she said yes. My plate was hard to see because it was up under the tour pack, so you would need to bend over to look at the plate, so there was a sticker the DMV gave out, handicap parking. It was displayed on my bumper. I suggested to her to look at the plate as she walked back outside. The cashier knew me and was laughing about her being a Karen. Addendum to my comment. I only parked my bike in the handicap spot when there were a lot of them open. Otherwise, I would park in the striped area, not the wheelchair ramp portion. Occasionally, you may see up to 4 bikes parked in one handicap spot. All the bikes will have valid plates to park there. Reply by original poster. Too funny. Comment by user. This reminds me of the video I just saw of Kendall J and Haley B parking in handicap spots to avoid paparazzi. Stupid as fuck. Reply by original poster. Stupid doesn't count as a disability. Comment by user. Worst I ever saw was a Hispanic lady that came into the subway I worked at, back in like 2007. Drove a big crew cab long bed lifted truck. Quadruple parked in all 4 handicap spots. Luckily it was just subway and the lawn doctor mat and it was late, a slow time, but still what a biatch. Reply by original poster. I had a lady pull into the spot in front of the subway we were getting ready to go into. I politely asked to move. She said, "I'll just be a minute." Well, we were going to get lunch to go. We went inside, and lady was paying. She went out, then came running back and asking if I could move. I said, "We'll just be a minute." Longest ordering time at any subway ever. She begged me to move as she was going to be late to work. Said it was just a few minutes doctorative, so I countered with, "If it's so close, you better start walking." She whined and cried, complained to the Stasfuck, etc. It took about 15 minutes to get tired of her whining. I finally got up to move my Suburban, and told her that she was lucky that I was in a good mood, and to never do shit like this again. IDK if the lesson took, and wonder what excuse she gave for being late to work. Comment by user. I live in WA state and love that there is a hefty fine, $385 IIRC, for unauthorized parking in a handicap space. A chunk of that goes directly to disability employment programs, too. There are deputized volunteers who are handicapped, who patrol and ticket. Reply by original poster. Great idea. Comment by user. Good for you. Keep laughing about it, you did good. IDC if you can walk or not. If you have the permit, use the spots. They're for you. I will absolutely call about a car in accessible parking without a visible permit. Gladly, and with malicious glee, I'll call bylaw enforcement. Reply by original poster. Thanks. Comment by user. Not all heroes wear capes. Reply by original poster. Nope. Just a mad dad. But, thanks. Comment by user. Zip tie those carts together for maximum inconvenience. Reply by original poster. Easy there, Satan. But what a great idea. Comment by user. Then the entire mall started clapping. Reply by original poster. Grocery store, but mostly empty. Comment by user. Having a placard. I just cringe when people assume you can park in handicap if someone stays in the car. Reply by original poster. Yeah, my wife and I don't ever use the space without the kid present. Comment by user. This doesn't make any sense. I put carts in a loose formation around his car. I proceed to put several layers of carts, tightly packed together, 360 degrees around his car. Wouldn't this make the adjacent handicap spaces in the row very inaccessible? And how could you get several layers of carts around his car without interfering with Tras Fuckvick in the aisle? Reply by original poster. Yes, it blocked one space out of 15. By loose formation, I mean not connected to each other, just around the car, not touching each other or the car. Then the carts in the outer layers interlock together. Comment by user. There's nothing convenient about having a disability. Reply by original poster. No, there is not. Comment by user. A few days ago, I saw a handicapped person park in the handicap spot in front of my store and walk all the way across the parking lot to Starbucks. Reply by original poster. Man shrugging. Comment by user. Saw a dude with a new lifted truck and no placard/plate parked in a handicap spot at a convenience store. I happened to have a faux handicap placard air freshener a friend gave me that read, "Not handicapped, just slightly retarded," and stuck it on his windshield. Hope he got the message. Reply by original poster. I need some of those. I'll make something up without the air freshener. Comment by user. This is funny and I'm glad it turned out okay, but history shows that confronting people over accessibility parking spaces can have deadly consequences. The appropriate thing to do is document the vehicle offending, not the person, with pictures of the plate and front end showing no placard hanging from the rearview mirror, and submit to Tras Fuckvick enforcement in writing. The app Parking Mobility makes this unbelievably easy, and the fact they left gave you time to take all the pictures unbothered. Reply by original poster. This was before people went crazy. Comment by user. A ticket would be a good start, but I favor a good kneecapping. Reply by original poster. Not painful enough. Fractal_frog has a good point. Comment by user. As someone who has had to doctorag my wheelchair across a lot because of inconsiderate doctorivers, thank you for this. Reply by original poster. You're very welcome. Comment by user. I believe that's inaccurate. I live in Texas and I've seen plenty of cops write tickets in parking lots for handicapped parking violations. That is why there are signs telling you what the fine is on the sign. My kid is disabled, so I get the frustration. He is 10 and can't walk. He is wheelchair-bound. Reply by original poster. This was 28 years ago. The laws are different now. Comment by user. I usually don't look or walk like anything is wrong with me when I go to a store and park in the handicap parking spot. I have gotten the looks, but no one has ever said anything, and if it ever happens, my foot, still with shoe, will come off and maybe upside their head. After an hour of getting groceries, I am dead. Reply by original poster. This dude has no placard. Comment by user. I was a security guard in Texas in the 80s. At the time, not only could a police officer write a ticket for a violation of state law on private property without anyone's permission, or becoming otherwise engaged with the dock driver, and parking in a handicapped space without a permit was such law, but if a property owner was lax about enforcing handicapped parking restrictions, the property owner could be sued under the ADA for that failure. Reply by original poster. It might have been a City of Fort Worth ordinance or policy. I'm not sure, but they will now write a ticket and tow if the car has multiple tickets on its history. Comment by user. I wish you'd taken a photo of your cart construction masterpiece. Reply by original poster. Long before camera phones, I think we had a Motorola brick phone back then, but I'm not sure. Comment by user. Not gonna lie. When you said your daughter's diagnostic, I legit screamed, grinning face with sweat. I have the same diagnostic. Reply by original poster. Yeah, it's the most common congenital problem worldwide. Comment by user. Beautifully petty, bravo. Reply by original poster. Thanks. Comment by user. You don't actually know he wasn't disabled though. Reply by original poster. Yeah. He was just an asshole. Comment by user. You can tell this guy was new to convertible ownership. You park in the shade, even if said shade is in the far back corner. When his date sat down on those seats wearing shorts that didn't cover so much as half her ass, he'll get a bawling out about his choice of parking spots. Reply by original poster. Okay, important detail is that this was at night. Sorry. Comment by user. You are a hero. Reply by original poster. Nope. Just a mass dad. Thanks though. Comment by user. How long did your daughter wait for you in the car? Reply by original poster. About 10 minutes. Comment by user. I don't believe this happened, but I want this to have happened, and this probably happened at least once to some asshole, so it might as well have been perpetrated by you. Good job. Reply by original poster. Oh yes, it happened. One of my daughter's first memories. Comment by user. If the cop was of duty, how would he give him a ticket? Reply by original poster. He had a ticket book with him? Comment by user. This seems fake for some reason. Reply by original poster. 'Tis not. One of my daughter's earliest memories. Comment by user. Americans are still using the word handicapped. Reply by original poster. Yeah. I tried differently disabled, but didn't like it. Comment by user. Were you there for the guy's reaction? Reply by original poster. Unfortunately, no. Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.